So this is one of the other reasons I like doing these interviews. It gives me things to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, yeah.
As well as being enormous fun, and I get to talk to new and interesting people.
Thank you. But yeah, I'd check out the show. It's a good show. I haven't watched them all yet. I'm gonna go one of those days and when there's horrible weather outside.
Yeah.
And just do on demand and watch from the beginning.
Binge.
Binge TV, stack up on snacks and binge watch.
Okay, we've gone pretty long. I'm going to wrap up soonish, I'm thinking, but I do have a couple more questions. The first thing that occurs to me, I'm curious, as a medium, what is your favorite fictional depiction of mediums?
Fictional?
Yeah, that way we're not attacking anybody.
Oh. I don't really know any fictional ones. I don't read those kind of stories.
None of the movies, TV shows?
I mean, reality TV shows, oh yeah, there's a few I could go on. But I guess my favorite would be Ghost Whisperer.
I've seen a couple episodes of it. It seemed pretty good.
I've seen the series. It's in reruns now. I watch it all the time. But it's closer to what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I think James Van Prad came up with the show. I think he's one of the producers. It's a good. It gets a little out there sometimes, but every show does.
It's
and
fiction.
For entertainment. It's fiction. You have to. I mean, I kind of like how they portrayed her
mm-hmm.
as a medium. And she wasn't that confident. I mean, she was confident in the ability, but she still got scared. She still was a little bit afraid of it. And if you don't have a little bit of healthy fear, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
While you don't, I try not to show fear when I'm in the presence of any kind of spirit. It doesn't mean that I don't get scared.
People who don't get scared at all in this line of work are crazy.
That scares me. You have to have a healthy respect for the other side. You have to have a healthy fear. I mean, not fear and like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid,
Yeah.
Fear. But if you're not a little bit afraid every time you walk into a haunted location, you shouldn't be doing this.
Well, especially, I look at it from my end, and it's like, okay, you're going to walk into a house with something that thinks the twisted dreams of serial killers are a cute idea, and you're going to poke it with the stick
to see what it does. Are you nuts?
Oh, and by the way, it can hurt you. It can kill you. You can't hit it. You can go in there with a shotgun. You're not going to do anything. If you're not afraid, you need you need a slap upside the head.
I think if you're not a little bit afraid anytime you walk into any type of haunted location, you need to stop doing it.
Yeah.
You have to be you have to have that little bit of fear. It gives you an edge actually sometimes. Because you're on guard. You're careful.
Not to mention, there are times when there's other things to be afraid of other than the ghosts. There's a case Lou did in Baltimore, Maryland. He was at a convention. Afterwards, they all went to this abandoned hospital. Now, they go inside. They turn the lights on. Then they had permission to be there. And the first thing they hear is footsteps in nearby, sounds like a group of people nearby, but they can't see them, all scurrying away as soon as the lights go on. Everybody else's reaction is the Scooby-Doo reaction. Jinkies, let's investigate. Lou goes, wait a minute. Because they're in an abandoned building in the middle of the night, and they heard a group of people. It could be ghosts. It could also be a bunch of drug addicts that are finding a place
Yeah,
to
that
sleep at all.
situation you don't go investigate that, really.
But people made fun of him because it's like, oh, the big bad demonologist is scared. It's like the big bad demonologist speaking smart. What are you doing?
Yeah, you don't know what you're walking into, you know? Gotta be careful.
Yeah.
You gotta be safe out there.
Not to mention, I don't know about your experience with this, but some of the time, sometimes the people you go that need help have they're a few
Problems.
six short. Yeah.
Problems. They have some serious issues
Yeah.
that probably require professional help. And sometimes you realize that no matter what you do, you can't help them. And that's the hardest thing for me is not, no matter what I was going to do, it wasn't going to help them.
Yeah. I've been there.
Because their issues were way more than I'm qualified to deal with.
And you get, you know, my usual. I've had these people just as you have, and the response is as gently as for me, as gently as possible. Point them to people that have the training to deal with it. Sadly, some people don't take that well.
No, they don't, but you have to try.
Yeah. Some of the, I mean, Lou had a great historical situation. I think you'll enjoy this, where he's asked to investigate this house that has a poltergeist in it. It's a good 2.5 hour drive in each direction. And he goes up there, and from what he told me, it looked like a house with a poltergeist in it. Furniture's thrown everywhere, things are dripped up, destroyed, claw marks on things. But Lou wasn't quite a medium or a psychic, but got he'd get a notion if something was in the house, as it were. And he's not getting, this house doesn't feel haunted to him. So, and nothing's happening. So the woman says she's going to play for him the audio recording of the spirit voices. Now, Lou was the king of EVP. He got them everywhere. Thousands of them. So he knew what an EVP sounds like. This isn't an the voice is very distorted and very strange, but it's not an EVP. So he takes the recorder and he looks at it. It's on slow play. The woman had a pair of very large, very active dogs. The dogs also had abandonment issues, so whenever she left the house, they tear it to shreds.
Oh, jeez.
But no, it couldn't be her precious angels.
Of course not.
Now, and to make it all the better worse, her and the one friend of hers have a heavy helping of new age fluffery. At one point, from what Lou told me, they're talking about koalas with army helmets on their heads.
They need some help that you cannot give them.
Yeah. Which was basically Lou's response. So it's like, you don't have ghosts, you have dogs. Get an obedience school. Have a nice day.
Yes.
I wish I, and then of course there's I wish I hadn't driven 2.5 hours for dogs.
I know. You turn around and drive back. I know, but you have to go. You have to have those cases, you know. I mean, I've had them.
What's your funniest example of a miss, as it were?
There was this lady that kept calling me and calling me and calling me and calling me. There's a shadow person in her basement, but she's positive it's demonic.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally went out there. Didn't even take a team. Just, I'll come check it out. If it warrants a team, I'll take the team back.
Mm-hmm.
I went in there. She takes me down to the basement. And this is a new condominium. And I'm looking around. There is nothing in this house. I mean, nothing. It's as clean as any place I've ever been into in my entire life. Now see over there underneath the stairs. That's where the shadow is. And I walk over there and I'm looking around and she has stuff under there. And I move some stuff and I said, it's a shadow. See, it's a shadow. It's not a shadow person. It's because of all this stuff. It is given the appearance that there's something there. And she would not believe me, no matter what I did, no matter what I told her, no matter what I could physically prove.
No, it's a spirit demon.
It's a demon. So I think, okay, the only thing that's going to satisfy her is if I do a ritual, which isn't going to hurt anything because there's nothing here. So I did the ritual. She thanked me. I left. She calls me 3 hours later. It's back. It's still here. I'm like, oh my God. So, maybe I need to refer you to another team. I haven't heard from her since. And it's just because she had stuff piled under the stairs that resembled. And she had chairs down there with bowls, big bowls of salt in them.
Mm. Well, and it's the thing, and I almost hate to bring it up because in my experience, and I'm gonna guess that you agree, imaginary friends and monsters under the bed aren't always so imaginary.
I totally agree.
But sometimes the kid sees the clothes in the closet making a weird shadow, and that's the boogeyman. It's not.
Yes, yeah. But those kind of things, especially when it involves a kid, you have to check out.
Yeah.
Any case that involves a child automatically goes to the first in line.
Yeah. Especially because kids are more receptive.
Because they're open, they haven't been programmed to believe there aren't ghosts or, told they're, plus peer pressure. If you walk around saying, I went through it, if you walk around saying you see ghosts, people don't like that you don't have friends.
Yeah.
So then you just learn to shut up about it. And then you have friends. They think you're normal, whatever normal is.
I have no idea.
I don't either. I think normal is really overrated.
I think normal people are probably very scary.
They probably are.
If they exist.
Although my friends know me now. Like if we're talking or something, and all of a sudden they see me go, like they have to go, what's behind me? Nothing. No, what was behind me? I saw you. It was just passing through. Don't worry about it.
No, I had the one girl I was dating, like the first time we got together, for one reason or another, and it wasn't the house was haunted, I kept looking towards the door area. Mostly I thought, she lived with her parents, so I was a little paranoid somebody was going to walk in, even though it was pretty late at night. But knowing what I did, her response was, oh shit, what's over there? Like, no, there's nothing there. I'm not seeing a ghost.
There's nothing there. I know. It's an interesting thing we do.
I will say, there's an adage, and I think it applies to us at least as much that, in the military, a running bomb disposal expert has highest rank. And when one of us is running, it's probably a good idea to follow us.
It's probably a good idea to run, because if I'm running, you better run.
Yeah.
Because there's not much that'll make me run. So yeah, and my team knows that if I just very quietly walk up to them and go, get out of the house.
Ah, yes.
Just very quietly, very calmly, just get out of the house. They know just to work their way out of the house slowly, not to alarm the homeowners, to meet by the cars, because we've got something we need to figure out how we're going to deal with. And that's kind of how I handle it.
See, we have a code word for that. Whenever we need to have those little meetings, snowflake.
Oh no, I just will walk up to them and go, just get out of the house.
Well, it comes handy for us, particularly if we're in the middle of a client interview and the client says something batshit or otherwise or indicates that, oh shit, this is more serious than I realized. Snowflake. And everybody knows, okay, we need to go quietly excuse ourselves without freaking out the client.
No, I just tell the
Yeah.
client, you know what, the team needs to take a little break. We'll be right back in.
Yeah. See, it worked great with Lou because Lou was a smoker. So it was always, I need to go have a cigarette. Come with me.
I do the same thing. I do the same thing. I need to have a cigarette. I need to talk to you. Come with me for a minute. Yeah. But anyway, we should wrap it up. I gotta get
Yes.
going.
Well, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you for having me. We'll talk again.
Yes, so we'll have you on again. You've been a lot of fun.
Okay, thanks. Have a good day.
You too. I'll email you when it goes up.
Okay, great.
Have a good
Bye.
night. Bye.